welcome back, folks, to Enter the Pond with Roggy, where I talk about things that are on my mind and news stuff. Today, as you can see in the thumbnail, we're going to be talking about the Switch 2 and the pricing and how the pricing is just not very good. A lot of backlash is happening online because of the pricing, and rightfully so. Games are getting more expensive, and this hobby is starting to be priced out for the average mom and pop, I feel. And $80 for this game for Mario Kart that's coming out is not good. Oh, excuse me. Um, it's but the thing about it is there's also a lot of misconceptions going on and stuff that is not true. For example, there's a lot of people saying that the physical games are going to be 90, and people are running with it. I've seen bigger YouTubers. I'm not going to name who, but I've seen bigger YouTubers going, "Oh my God, $90 games, $90 games, $90 games." When in reality, at least in the U.S., I mean, it's pretty expensive everywhere else, but um, in the US, I have not seen evidence at all as of this recording of a game being $90 for the physical. What I have seen is for them being $70 to $80 for the physical game. And that's still outlandish, that's still crazy, but it's not what everyone was saying. What they were using for proof of that was euros, $90. The game's $90 in euros. Excuse me. And because of that, people were running that was $90 gigs, $90 gigs. I mean, for the people over across the pond that are, that love Nintendo Switch and stuff like that, yeah, that sucks. Does that mean that $90 games is not going to come here to the US? No, it does not. I think we're going to see our first $100 game with GTA. That's 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 a happening 100%. I'll be completely shocked if that doesn't happen. But I think Nintendo doing this is not just um a shock to the system to a lot of people, but it's also a prelude to what's going to be coming. It's going to be a lot of games going that way. I think we're going to see. I also think the industry at large is also going to suffer for it because I think in the short term, yeah, we're going to see people do it. I mean, me complaining about it, I'm going to buy it. I mean, day one, I'm getting the Nintendo Switch 2 and all that stuff. But I think it shows that the industry at large is going in a direction that a lot of people do not want them to go to, and I'm one of those people. But it's going to show that later on we're going to start to see the rise of indies become more prevalent. I mean, we're already seeing that now with certain games that are out on the Switch that are old school in nature, but they're new, like that Star game, that JRPG game that I what you call it, reviewed, and I should have looked that up when I re-recorded this because this is the third time recording this. My mic was messing up, so I should have looked up what that game was so I could talk about it. I'll put it up here if I remember to. There's a lot of other games that are old school in nature on the PC that are making a lot of noise. There's that Stone. Let me get my thing up. The Quest is a good game. It's an old school FPS RPG that's like what you call it, Daggerfall. We got Scaled. That's like an old school Ultima game. If you ever played the old Ultima games, and we're seeing a lot of these games come to consoles, especially to the Switch. I mean, look at Battle Brothers that I've done. It's a tactical RPG that just has those little guys. I'll probably put a footage up here, and that came to the Switch and did really well. I mean, we have Darkest Dungeons and stuff like that. So I think what we're gonna see is we're gonna see very little um AAA RPG, or not RPGs, AAA games in general, um, going forward. And we're gonna have these big games that are just far and few between, in between, and the rise of mostly um mostly little games that are going to be taking more of the what you call it, being more in the forefront. So I think this is the signs. Maybe I'm overreacting a bit. You guys can tell me in the comments below, but I think this is the sign of AAA games slowly starting to bite the bullet. But we will see. I mean, like I said, the game's gonna sell no matter what. It's Mario Kart. I'm gonna get it. I mean, I know other big YouTubers that are complaining about are gonna get it. The average Mario fan's gonna get it, but what is gonna be telling, and what I think is gonna show how the market really is your average mom and pop gonna buy this system in the game. The hardcore gamer like us, we're getting it day one. No matter what we say, we're getting it day one. You know how much we moan and we bitch, excuse my language, and complain and whine on the internet. How much we make videos like this to the consumers, and how to people that want to watch us and stuff like that. No matter how much we whine about it, we're still gonna get it. We're still part of the problem. To be honest, we're the ones that are pushing it. But what's gonna be interesting is little Timmy down the road going to his mom and asking for the latest Mario Kart. Is little Timmy's mom going to buy the system that at almost $500, and the game and the accessories and this and that for little Timmy? And those are the sales that matter in the end. I know a lot of people might disagree with that, but the average mom and pop and all that stuff doesn't matter if it's the PlayStation, doesn't matter if it's the Xbox, doesn't matter if it's the Switch. Those are the people that make up the bulk of the sales. Under you know they make the bulk of the sales, and if especially for Nintendo, in Nintendo's case, especially for them. So is mom and dad going to buy little Timmy this and that, especially this holiday when other games are announced for holiday? Because there's more Switch games that's going to be announced this year. I mean, there wasn't a lot announced at this direct, when it comes to first party, but the year is still the year is still beginning. I mean, we get the system in 2 months, 3 months technically, because if you count this month, but we get it soon. So, the other games, we're gonna get other directs with other games coming out and stuff like that. Will Timmy's mom and dad buy him this, system? And that's what's gonna be telling. That's what's gonna be very interesting with this, and I don't think a lot of people are talking about that. Um, as for the price, I mean, one thing I want to clear up. Hopefully you guys are watching all the way to here because I was rambling. One thing I gotta clear up though is right now the only game that is $80 is Mario Kart. The Donkey Kong game is 70. 70 is still a lot, and a lot of people are having trouble swallowing that, and even I'm having trouble swallowing it. But it is the only game right now that's 80. And as I said, there was no $90 games at this time. Now, that's as of this recording. If by the time I'm done editing this and all that stuff and I'm putting it up, that's changed, I will freeze frame myself and be like, blah 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 in $90 game, this and this. Then I'll update that. But as of right now of this recording, as me talking to you guys, there is no $90 game, at least in the US. In Europe and in other places, yes, it's that expensive for them in Europe. And like I said, that's why a lot of people were running for it, because it was in euros. It was $90 for the physical. That's why people were up in arms. We just need to wait. I know that's not our strong suit. We just need to wait and see what happens. Take a step back. If you feel it's too expensive and you feel it's not worth it, don't spend the money. That's it. Um, Vote with your wallet. That's the best thing you can do. If you want to show Nintendo and the game industry as as a large that this is unacceptable to you, then don't buy it. As I said, people like me are part of the problem. I mean, I'm gonna buy it, and if you want to buy, if you don't want to buy it, more power to you. I think that's you should do that. If you don't want to, me, as much as I bitch and moan, I'm gonna get it. And that's just how it is. It's just, it sucks. I mean, I'm fortunate to be in a position where I can afford it right now, so I can get it. But there's a lot of other people that can't. And $80 games, it's just, it's going back to the days of the early '90s of the Super Nintendo. I rem, I mean, me being able to get all these games, getting like 3 or 4 games a month or something like that, which is, that's what I spend. I don't know about anyone else. People maybe spend more, maybe they spend less. Maybe sometimes I get only 2 games a month. When I was growing up and I had the Super Nintendo, I only got 1 game a year, and that was because some games did cost $90. Some games did cost $100. And people like to say when they bring up that point, well, everything costs less back then and stuff. No, I mean, I wasn't a poor we weren't a poor family, but we weren't middle class when I was growing up. We didn't get middle class until much, much later. But it took my grandma buying me my Super Nintendo, and then like every year I got 1 game. And then the rest of the games that I got to play, we rented from Blockbuster. So I think maybe that's what's going to happen now with the, excluding the Blockbuster thing since Blockbuster's gone, unfortunately. Um, I think we're going to start seeing that happen with a lot of people too. It's going to be like 1 game a year and stuff like that, which is, not going to, it's not, it sucks. But it is what it is. But tell me what you guys think. If you're new here, hi. I'm usually a VTuber, a frog, but my phone's dead, the one that helps with the VTuber, so it moves and stuff. And I didn't think you guys would enjoy just a frog just looking like that, you know. So I will see you guys next time. Leave a comment what you guys think about it. Do you think it's gonna affect the industry? Do you think it's gonna affect little Timmy down the road? Do you think it's gonna affect sales overall? And let me know what you think. Subscribe, hit the bell thing so it rings, and I will see you next time. Hop you later, and take care.